fired the general manager and the public relations guy, and he's in power now. He's making the moves a couple of days before the trade deadlines. He's not just a smile and a face. He's making the moves. They don't have a general manager yet because the agent that they hired to be the general manager has to get rid of his company before he can be making these moves. So he's not just a smile. He's not a figurehead. I don't know why you keep doing that.
Because eventually I think that's what he's going to be, and that's going to be his strength. I think once he gets Pelinka in place, that's essentially what Magic... like business relations, dealing with advertisers.
That doesn't feel like you know Magic Johnson very well. To have the power and not use it, he likes the ball in his hands.
No, he liked to distribute the ball is what he liked to do.
He liked to have the ball in his hands. He just traded Lou Williams. That was him who did that.
Great move. I got a first-round pick for Lou Williams. He liked the ball in his hands, but eventually he would pass it to someone else to get the job done. That's what he did his entire career. Eventually, he passed it to big game James Worthy, to Kareem with a skyhook, to Michael Cooper for 3, to Byron Scott for 3. He does like the ball in his hands, but eventually, as he gets closer to the basket, he'll pass it to someone. And that someone will finish the job, because that's what Magic has done his entire life. Check the assist numbers.
All right, I'll get right on that.
I mean, the guy had more dimes than anyone in the history of the NBA until Stockton broke that record.
You got caught up in the air, did you?
About halfway through, yeah, I realized.
Did he indeed have the record for assists?
He had to at some point.
I don't think you're right. I don't think you're right. Let's go ahead and let's find out. It was Magic Johnson. Where did Magic Johnson rank all time in assists? I mean, he'd be pretty high.
I think there was a chance because he's number 5. Mark Jackson's number 4. Steve Nash number 3. Jason Kidd number 2. Stockton number 1. So I feel comfortable saying Magic Johnson held that.
Yes.
Who did he pass? Who's number 6?
Oscar. So Oscar Robertson. So right. Mark Jackson, Nash, Kidd, Stockton. So at one point, Magic Johnson retired as the all-time leader in assists in the NBA. I can distribute.
Mike, has Stugotz told you yet that he's doing Mike and Mike on Friday?
Yeah.
What are you laughing about, Roy? What's so funny about that?
Everyone's mad.
You're finding this out on Wednesday? Yeah.
I found out yesterday, man.
I'm not crazy about the whole midweek leave us for Mike and Mike.
Oh, I mean,
it's concerning.
Running into the bosom of Golick the way that he keeps doing?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this one.
Fine. I was just trying to help the company out. I mean, they asked me yesterday. I didn't want to give an answer until I discussed it with Dan for that exact reason. For this reason. I don't like how it feels either.
You asked me, and I told you don't do it.
You did. I told Dan that.
Yeah. I don't like the idea of just you being plucked midweek away from us.
Right.
Well, who's doing that? Who's doing this midweek plucking situation? Because I think Stugotz should do all the things that are best for Stugotz. And I think Stugotz should get all of the glory that's possible to him on all of the platforms that are made available to him. But who's doing this midweek plucking where they put us in our place in the hierarchy by unplugging our show to plug it in to Mike and the Stugotz? Or the Stugotz and Mike show.
You want a specific name here?
I'd like a name, yes. I'd like a name. Whose decision is this? How is this happening?
Justin Craig.
Okay.
I love Justin, but he asked me yesterday. They're buying. They said, can you do Mike and Mike on Friday? And I said, I need to talk to a number of people. Mike being one, Dan being the second person, and my wife being the third. My wife said to go. She said, can you go permanently? And Mike said that you shouldn't go because it's a bad look to our show. And then I was talking to myself last night because I do that frequently, and I said there's going to be some underlying resentments here if I go with Dan because I'm leaving you to go do that show. I'm unplugging our show to go do that show on a moment's whim. And so nothing feels good about this, nothing, except for the fact that I'll be on ESPN2 for 4 hours with Golick on Friday.